Recently got a really good question about Pacaso co-ownership, and I wanted to make this video because it's a very common question, and I think it can bring a lot of people value by answering it here. The question is, I found out about Pacaso and stumbled upon your videos. First of all, thank you. Without watching every video out there, biggest question, quarter ownership in a vacation home, etc. How are repairs replacements handled? What if two owners bring up that the roof should be replaced or the kitchen should be remodeled? Does Pacaso have any say, or do they just work up the co-ownership agreement and then have no other hand in it? I like the concept, but seems like if multiple parties have to come to an agreement, it could be problematic. A few other questions, but that's the biggest one. I think that is a big one, and I'm glad that you asked it. So Pacaso will buy a home and then create an LLC, which is a limited liability company. It's a very common way for people to buy vacation homes, with nearly half of the vacation homes in a lot of destinations being bought this way. And then owners can buy as little as 1/8 interest in the home. Once the home is completely sold, Pacaso has no ownership interest in it, which means they have no votes, because votes are determined by how much ownership you have. Every 1/8 ownership equals 1 vote. So if you own half the home, you have half the votes. If you own a quarter of the home, you have 2 of the 8 votes. Because Pacaso has no ownership, they had no voting rights. What they do, though, is they stay on as the manager of the property and they facilitate the LLC ownership. So the owners never interact with each other. All communication goes through Pacaso. So if somebody wants to bring up a larger improvement for a vote, they would request it to Pacaso, and then Pacaso would call for a vote among the other owners. Now, there are certain things, though, that Pacaso can make certain changes as the facilitator and as the property manager. I think there's a dollar cap. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's for small improvements that are things like a broken dishwasher or something that needs to be replaced quickly with minimal capital investment that would otherwise impact the ownership experience. There also is a reserve fund. So those smaller repairs, those types of things would come out of a reserve fund, which is funded by the owners. It is part of and included in the ownership annual expenses. And each year, those items are looked at, and then it's pro forma out for larger expenses, like the roof might need to be replaced in 15 years, so that owners aren't surprised by some big expense down the road for home improvement. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I would even tell people that are looking to buy with maybe 3 or 4 other families to buy in a model like this, because you are right. Owning with other people can be problematic. And even if you know the other people, having something set up like this, I like to say tall fences make great neighbors. It just makes the ownership experience that much better because it creates those boundaries between the owners. It gets somewhat messy sometimes. So does Pacaso stay involved? Yes, they do, as long as the owners want to have them there, because that's another thing they can vote on. And they can vote on voting Pacaso out as the manager. So the owners have all of the control. But all those little nuances and all those little headaches that they wouldn't necessarily want to deal with, Pacaso takes care of those as the property manager, even though they had no ownership or control over them. I hope that helps. Thanks for asking the question. If you have other questions about Pacaso or just co-ownership in general, feel free to comment down below, and I will do my best to respond to them, or even, who knows, make another video like this. See you.